Good evening, everyone. Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches, and I feel the need to vlog this week. After Mania and vlogging every single day, I find myself missing it. Like, I go to pull something out, and I'm like, oh, I gotta record this real quick. And, no, I don't. Because I can't do my weekly videos again. Also, I'll think of something I just have to tell y'all. I'm like, but I'm not vlogging. And then, of course, I forget it before next week's video comes. So, for this week at least, I want to vlog again. I feel like, especially since StitchCon, there is just a ton that I am doing that I want to talk about. Some rabbit holes I'm getting sucked into. So, here we go. I will try not to repeat, this is Sammy J, every piece of the vlog. That was just for the first one. Okay, so, few things. I've been thinking. I debated on whether or not I was going to vlog this week, and so I didn't vlog last night, which was my first night since my last video. I mean, I could show you quotes to live by. I'm going to show you quotes to live by because I'm vlogging tonight. But I don't have Foxglove with me, which is what I worked on last night. So, you'll either see her next week when I do a normal video, if I do a normal video, or you'll see her next time I pull her out. I don't know. I'm not overthinking it, people. I'm just going to do this. So, first things first. I have been straying too far from the reading path, and I realized after spending 4 days with my people at StitchCon that a lot of times I find that a lot of stitchers have either reading in common or the nerd fandoms, just a lot of other stuff other than stitching in common. So what I want to do is I want to put it out there. I want to start listening to an audiobook either on my drive to and from work, or maybe one night a week at work. That might put me to sleep, so that one's debatable. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't figured that part out, but I definitely want to I want y'all to pick an audiobook for me. So what I'm going to do is, this will post, let me look at the calendar. This will post on July 4th, Independence Day, or July 5th. It'll be one of the two, because I may want to insert fireworks if I'm off. Anyways, so it'll post then, and so my next video will be the 11th, so that's when I will decide which audiobook. So I want you to leave a favorite book, a book you just feel like I need to read, whatever kind of suggestion down below. Like I said, I'm going to do audiobook because I don't actually take the time to read anymore. It takes away from my stitching. And then I will random number generate to decide which one that I will read. So, if you could do that for me. I do tend to prefer young adult. And not like documentary or anything like that. So, we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I get a book that I don't like. But I will at least try it. So, that was the first thing on my agenda. Next, and then of course I'll do it again after I finish that audiobook. So, it may not be a regular thing, it'll be whenever I can get through it. Because some audiobooks are really long. So, the next thing is, I have not been watching a lot of movies lately. I watch a ton of TV shows and a ton of Flosstube, but not a lot of movies. So movie recommendations, and I will pick one a week to watch. So Again, like July 11th, when I go to make my next video, I will say, okay, here's the movie that I picked. Then I'll watch it that week, and then, yeah, ongoing. Every week, I want to try and watch one movie a week. Just to try and diversify, try and change things around a little bit, see what's interesting, see what y'all like, and how similar we are in those respects. Okay, I was talking to Jessie yesterday, and she talked me into the 100 Days of Hate challenge. Now, in her defense, I was already on the verge. She just kind of tipped the scales. But it did start with her picture on the 100-day challenge, and I went, I've got a few Heaven and Earth designs now, and I could make myself crazy like I did at Mania, right? So I work on my focus piece every night, and that's anywhere from 50 to 150 stitches, right? 50 to 150, yeah. Excuse me. And then I was like, I could pull out a Hade, just like keep it on the Q snap, right? And pull it out each night and put one strand of floss into it, whether that's one stitch because it's confetti, or whether it's 100 stitches because it's a solid point, which I don't see happening because I chose my mini treasure hunt bookshelf. So I was like, I could pull it out, put one strand in it, put it up, pull out my whip for the night. I could do that. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm officially signed up. I'm almost ready to go. So the reason I picked that one is because it is on my year of whips, and I committed to 1 page for the year as part of my year of whips, and I'm like almost halfway through the page. So this could help get me a lot closer by the end of the year. I don't know, we'll see. On my other one, my other Heaven and Earth design, I already completed my page for the year, so of course I'll work on it every month, but I'm just not going to focus on it. And then of course the one I just started is not part of my year of whips, so I'm going to be doing that craziness here soon. Another thing, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but like I said, I needed the vlogging. I needed to brain dump, because if I tried to remember all this come next week when I went to make a video, half of it wouldn't come out. You saw my last video. It was an hour and 20 minutes long, and I still don't feel like I touched on everything I meant to. Okay, but as you saw in that last video, I had a ton of haul from keepsakes and the trunk shows. I had haul from the Mirabilia Minions retreat last month. I have had patterns I've received. I have a stack of patterns now. So now I want to start trying to kit them up and get them ready for Mania next year. I don't know yet how many or any new starts between now and next year, but I'm trying to keep that to a minimum. Because I am signing up for ATCs again, and those count as new starts and yada yada. So my main goal here is to get them kitted up and ready for Mania, just in case I decide to do 31 starts, or I finish enough of these that I have to do a bunch of starts. Whatever. I'm getting them ready. But my stitching up until now has been fairly simplistic. All DMC conversions, I've only used DMC pretty much, except for legendary creatures, which I just started this year. And so with kitting them up, I didn't want to overwhelm myself. Trying to figure out what fabrics and if I'm gonna buy the specialty floss, if I'm not. So what I decided is I'm going to pick one a night to work on, and I already did it tonight. I'll try and record one night when I'm actually in the process, and I'll talk as I'm doing it, but just to show you. So this is a pre-kit kit. I picked a pattern that I bought at Keepsakes. So this is Little House Needleworks, Blessed is the Life. Now, I put it back together wrong, so I can't see any of the floss. Hold on. Let's just turn the wrong way. I don't have too bad of a situation with glare right now, so I'm just gonna go with it. It says these two are DMC. These are all Classic Colorworks with the DMC conversion. So what I did was I pulled out the pattern and I looked at this little picture, which doesn't get you real close, but it gives you an idea. And I went, okay, which ones are going to make a huge difference if I don't do Classic Colorworks? Well, the first is the leaves, because I can see some variegation in the leaves, darker to lighter. So I said, okay, I definitely need to keep that one because I'm going to be able to see it. It's not a huge variegation, but it's enough. And the same with the yellow on the flowers, because if you can kind of see right there, it's a really bright yellow, and then this bigger one is kind of a dark yellow. So I definitely want to try that one. Now, another one is this house. I can kind of see some variegation. I'm going back and forth on that one right now. I think it'll look just fine as a solid colored house. But I might go ahead and pick up the Classic Colorworks for it. Now, as for this red up here, I don't need it. And the brown is not variegated enough that I need it. And I like 3371, which is the alternate. So I'm not going to worry about those two. So I wrote down the two I'm definitely getting. I should probably write down that third one that I'm thinking about. And now I just have to decide on the fabric. I'm already talking to people about that. I have a few ideas. And then I'll write it down. And then just the next time I place an order somewhere, I'll look at this list and go, oh, well, let me go ahead and grab that to fill my cart, or that to make sure I have no shipping, that sort of thing. So then I put it back in here. I'm going to have to scan it into my computer to put on my Goodreader, because that's the only way I use my patterns. I don't mark on them. And then I'll probably keep it in here just so that, you know, when I do talk to you, I can show you. But because it's a small enough pattern, I can do that. What was I going to say? I just forgot. So, and then I'll kit up the flosses and stuff a little later. I didn't bring that stuff to do it tonight. But in the future, I'll try and do as much of that as I sit here each night as possible, so that it is all ready to go the next time I'm ready for it. So, I think that's all my brain dumping for today. You know, Pam posted that 363 days till StitchCon. If you're going next year, it's already counting down, and I really, really want to. So there's a good possibility I will be. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I get that it's doing the same thing twice in a row, but it can't be the same twice in a row. I mean, the venue is going to be different. There's going to be more people. There's going to be people that weren't at this one. I'm sure I'll get to see a few repeats. But I'm excited about it. My husband's already talking about it. Yay. Okay, so just to show you, because it's sitting right here, I already have my Heaven and Earth design ready to go. I'm going to post in that group later. And I've already posted my email to be officially started, but I need to put like the day 0 picture, which I think we're not actually supposed to do for a couple more days. I don't know. By the way, today is June 28th, Thursday, just so you know. First thing I'm going to do, I'm still a little behind on my focus piece, because my post StitchCon was I slept for almost 2 days straight, because I didn't sleep at StitchCon. I was like, I'm not missing a minute. I think the first night I got maybe 5 hours after getting there, because I left at 2, probably fell asleep close to 3 and got up at 7:30, so 4.5 hours. The second night I didn't go to bed till 4. I got up at 7:30, so that was 3.5 hours, and then the last night I didn't even go to bed. So, needless to say, when I got home, for days. So there wasn't a lot of stitching, because luckily my boss gave me, I requested off through that Sunday night. She gave me Monday night and Tuesday night off also. Good thing, because I slept, but I didn't do any stitching. So last night I did Sunday and Monday. I caught up to those on this, which completed a piece for me. This piece is completed, so I'm actually going to need to move the Q-snap tonight, because I haven't bought this piece yet, and my service isn't very good, so I don't want to buy it right now. I'm going to come up to this top corner up here and work on it. And I need to catch up on Tuesday night, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, if I can get it in before midnight. And then I'm going to work on, I haven't put this on the Q-snap yet, my autumn wreath. Oh, turn sideways. There we go. I'm going to work on that tonight. So you'll see this again before I start on it. So I'm going to work on this while I watch Jessie's all the haul video, because just like me, she went shopping crazy too. She said 40 minutes just on haul, which is about what I did, if not more. So I'm going to watch that while I stitch, and I will check back in with y'all before I switch projects and let you know how I'm doing. See y'all then. Hey. Okay, so it is 5 till 11. I could probably squeeze out another day to get caught up on quotes, but I'm not going to, because that'll give me 2 days to do tomorrow, and then I'll be all caught up. And actually, I'll probably just go ahead and do the last 3 days tomorrow, because with it being the last day of the month, and with me doing it at night, they tend to start blowing up my feed and going, you need to report something because the challenge is about to end. Anyway, so I'll probably do the final 3 tomorrow night, and quotes will be done for this month. And so I'll show you kind of what that looks like, because I get questions on this one a lot. Again, it's the Ultimate Cross Stitch group on Facebook. This is called the Everyday Count Challenge. Now, the goal is to have 3,100 stitches by the end of the month, but they break it down into daily values just to make it a little easier, give you a simple goal to hit. And what I do is I pick one project to work on every night to complete this calendar, and then move on to whatever else I'm working on. Okay. So the January I worked on, it was not a Euro Whips piece because it was my first time attempting this, and I wanted to get caught up on the Guardians of Notre Dame on the border. So then Tuesday, February, let's see, I have them all right here. Maybe. February I worked on the Birthstone Dragons, and I was able to complete Birthstone Dragons in that calendar. Just doing that calendar. March I did a lot of finishes apparently. Okay, March. Why are you not written on there? I'm supposed to. Oh, I worked on Love and Cat, and I was able to finish it with this calendar. Let's see, April, I worked on Under the Sea. I did not finish it, but I'm getting pretty close. And then, that was April. May, I worked on Foxglove. And then, I need to get that touched. And then, June is Quotes to Live By. So now I have to pick my one for next month. And this video will not go up before then, so I will post it on Instagram, or maybe I already have a plan for that. I gotta go back and check my notes. I might already have something that I want to do this month, Because see, I'm using it to focus on my year of whips. I don't get finished typically, but let's see. It might have been Christmas rules I was going to work on this month. Might be, I don't know. To be continued. So, here is where I got to tonight. I know my lighting is horrible. It's, 11 o'clock at night. So I got this border done. Okay, something else I've been doing, I may have explained before. Okay, so like the first day that I was catching up on was 150 stitches. So I did 150 stitches. And then once I completed the 150, I do one strand of back stitching. And I do count those stitches for my daily stitch count, but I do not count them towards the calendar. Otherwise, I would finish the calendar really fast and not get a whole lot of stitching done, because back stitching just goes a lot faster than cross stitching. So then I did one whole strand of back stitch, and then I did another 75 stitches because that was the next day, and then I did a partial back stitching because it ran into over here, and there are stitches right here that I need to put in before I put that back stitch right there. So it doesn't seem like a whole lot of room, does it? There's only gonna be one. Well, I guess that makes sense. Anyways, sorry. Squirrel. So I did not a full strand, but like half a strand. So that is it for that one. And I kind of do this number. I put it away. I gotta do some thread picking up though, because I wasn't putting the thread back in the plastic baggie because I was just lost in. I've been watching Flosstube all night. I'm currently watching Danielle Stitcherista's vlog for the week. And then, so I've just been kind of setting them down and leaving them. But they were all different enough. I know where they go. So, that's good. Sorry, my brain's kind of all over the place tonight. Alright, so now I'm going to pull out Autumn Wreath, and what I do here is I stitch and I count my stitches, and then at midnight I stop, do all my stitch count for the whole day, which is going to be pretty significant. I got a lot of cross stitching done between yesterday morning and this evening, or this morning and this evening, and then I'll stop, I'll eat, and then I'll get right back on the same project, but I'll start a new line of keeping track of my stitching. So this is what I am working on tonight. I think I'll be working on this sunflower. Let's see if we can get that whole sunflower done, huh? I'll focus on it. So, I will check in with y'all before I leave and let you know where I'm at on that, and anything else I come up with between now and then. See y'all soon. Good morning. It is just after 5 o'clock on Friday, June 29th. So I accomplished my goal. My goal being that I wanted to complete the sunflower that was on my autumn wreath. However, I probably could have got a ton more done, but I've been watching Flosstube all night, which means I've had to write down things that I just have to have. Also, Pam and Steph posted their post-StitchCon video tonight, and I started watching it as soon as it posted, but my service is kind of bad, so I did a lot of buffering, a lot of, waiting, but, like, I shouldn't have needed to watch their video because I was there. I was at StitchCon. I did the pictures and the videos, and they weren't showing me anything I ain't already seen. But did I still sit there and stare at the screen? Yes, I did. Quite a bit. So know that I probably could have gotten more done. But by no means does that mean I did not do plenty tonight. I went back up in the pattern a little bit and did some back stitching so that next time I put it on the Q-snap I could put it a little further down, because you know, I didn't want to cover up something I could be stitching. And then I got the sunflower done. So overall I did about 630 stitches on this tonight. Alright, and here we go. So I got quite a bit done. All of the sunflower there. Doing pretty good. I just realized that I've been recording these videos the incorrect direction, so I will fix that after today, and I'm sorry for the wide and narrow. Anyway. So, that was Autumn Reed, my work for tonight. So today's the 29th. When I get here tonight, I am going to work on quotes to live by, get the last 3 days finished up for the challenge, hopefully get it posted if my service decides to cooperate, and then I don't even know what I'm set to work on. Let me see. Can you see me? It's very windy today. Let's see. That. Okay, I don't have anything planned, so we'll just see what happens to fall into my lap tonight. I need to go through and plan out next month. I signed up for 3 ATCs, so I'm going to be working on those pretty much every night. And I can't show you those. So, well, 2 ATCs and one is a smalls exchange, but still, you get my point. So I got to get those planned out here pretty soon and started, because one of them has to be sent out by the 20th, the other 2 by the 25th. So try not to run behind this month. All right. So that is it for me this morning. I will see y'all this evening. Okay, let's try this again. Good evening, everybody. It is Friday. It is Friday, June 29th. I think my watch is charging. So, at the risk of boring the hell out of people and making this vlog just a little too long, I want to show you part of my organization. Because I get comments all the time about how organized I am. And really, honestly, it's just my cross stitching. Because my actual life is a mess. I don't think I've bought groceries in like a month. We just keep running to the store and getting what we need for the day. And I need to get on top of that. Anyway, one of the things I do, because I want to try and work on as many of my projects in a month as possible. Now, not so much as in to say, you know, ooh, well, I'm going to do half the night on this and half on, I mean, I do, but not like that. I try my best, but I don't push myself. And one of the ways I keep track of that in my big old, look at this thing, it's ridiculous. One of the things I do is I keep a monthly WIP tracker. And this is June's. I have a list of all my projects that I'm working on. It is now 2 pages thanks to Stitch Mania. And then each day that I work on it, I go and color in the box. And when I was only at 1 page, I could hit every single one of these. I made sure they all had at least one colored box. Now that I have so many, that's not quite happening. See, I didn't even get to the second half of the list. Okay, and I'm back. So, this is what it looks like. So then, and I'll get into why that, the finer details as I go. But what I am doing is I'm going to go ahead and make July's. Now, I did change it up a little bit. Last month was my first month to have so many, you know, outside of Mania when I was actually starting them. So, you know, I just grabbed 2 pages. This month I combined them and made it a flip page. So, here we go. You're going to do this with me. And I'll try not to take forever. So, and these are all in order of when they were started. So that also helps me keep track kind of, you know, how long, when I go and flip through all of them, I could see how many months something stayed on there. Now, my first one is Mini Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, because it's a Heaven and Earth design and will probably take me the rest of my life. The next one is Under the Sea Fabrics. Under the Sea Fabrics. Woo! Got Leslie on the brain. Under the Sea, which is the stitch along with Doreen Jones. That one's so close to finishing. Mini Phantom of the Masquerade. Quotes to Live By. And you could see on this one, because it was my focus piece this month, it's worked on almost every day. It's got a lot of marks on there. Ness is Blessed has been UFO'd, so I will not move it to July's. Welcome to Autumn Wreath. Foxglove. Christmas Rules. Those are all my year of whips that I have left, because they are all my 2017 or before pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is all I have left. A couple of those still can get finished by the end of the year. A couple won't. Well, technically only 7, because the Mini Phantom of the Masquerade, I was supposed to get a page finish, and I did get a page finish, so that one technically doesn't count towards Year of Whips anymore. Guardians of Notre Dame. Sometimes I create like shorthand for things because it needs to fit. House of Stark. Legendary Creatures. Let me see who this is. So, At Our House. Now this one is on here twice. So I have a code for that, because I'm doing one for someone else and one for myself. Rascal Raccoon. I count all the Advent animals separately. Dashaway. Sophie Squirrel. To-do list. Stitching Witch I finished at StitchCon. I need to write that here. Finished on the 23rd. So it will not go on to my new list. Owl Dad. Fall Pumpkin. Live, Love, Laugh. On to page 2. And I do have Stony Creek written next to that because there are several patterns out there with the same name when it comes to Live, Love, Laugh. Or Live, Laugh, Love, or however you put it. So I put the initials for the designer next to it. My Mira mask. These are out of order. House of Targaryen. So I know I started that before I even got the Mira mask. Oops. Okay, flipping over. Miss Lowly Daggerwing. Cleaning house. I need to write smaller. Time for God. Fairy Tale Lands 1. Living with Charm. You know, I sign people in and out on my lovely trusty like notepad here all night long. And still, after I write too long, my hand starts cramping up. The other at our house. Roll postage stamp. Santa's Village 2. Wreath. And recently added is Alice in a Dolly Dream. That's also a Heaven and Earth design. Okay, so the next thing I do is I go through the list, and if I worked on it, if there are any colored blocks in here, I put this little X on the new paper. So this month I worked on Mini Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, Under the Sea, Mini Phantom of the Masquerade, quotes to live by, obviously, Welcome to, Autumn Wreath, Foxglove, Christmas Rules, Guardians of Notre Dame, Fairy Tale Lands 2, House of Stark, Legendary Creatures, At Our House, Rascal Raccoon, Dash Away. Did not work on Sophie Squirrel. I worked on To-Do List. And worked on House of Targaryen. And I worked on Alice in a Dolly Dream. Now this isn't finished obviously because I have to stitch tonight and tomorrow, but it gives me an idea so I can start making next month's plans. Because here's what happens. Now, I haven't been participating in a lot of events lately, but when I do, and I do have one or two on my list, those go first. So the first thing I do is, like, the first week is Serial Killer from, I think, Cross Stitch Finish Line. So all my series ones will go the first week. So Under the Sea, Guardians of Notre Dame, Legendary Creatures, and Dash Away. Those four will all get placed on July's calendar. Then the next thing I do is finish out my Year of Whips, because those get first priority. So then I will put in both my Heaven and Earth designs. That'll change this next month. I'll explain in a minute. Welcome to, Autumn Wreath, Foxglove, and Christmas Rules. Those will get put on my calendar first. Then the next thing I do is I go in, and every single one of these, or as many as I can, I start at this part of the list, and all the ones that do not have an X, they get to go first this month because they did not get worked on last month. And then next month, the opposite. So that's kind of how my whip tracker works for me. And it makes me feel better to know that I work this much on stuff. And I mean, it's not the only thing that I use to make my brain satisfied, because I also have and really, if you've been following me for a while, you know this, but I keep a daily stitch count every day. That's from midnight to midnight. Then of course my focus piece, I have my list of all my starts and finishes for the year. I think that's it. Where it's like something I look at it a lot. The other thing, so the thing that will change this month is Mini Treasure Hunt bookshelf will not be on my whip list because it will be a focus piece for the 100 Days of Hade challenge that is starting July 2nd. So, like my focus piece next month, which I haven't picked yet again. I'm still working on that one. And Mini Treasure Hunt bookshelf, because they get worked on every day, they don't get their own day to be worked on. So, ideally, how my night is going to go for the month of July. I will get to work. I will work on my focus piece, whichever one that is. It'll probably either be Christmas rules. Well, it really has to either be Christmas rules, welcome to, or autumn wreath. So, one of those three. I will work on it for its allotted amount of stitches. Then I will pull out my Heaven and Earth design, put in one strand of whichever color I pick that night, and then put it up, and then pick up my whip for the night. And currently my plan is to stop with that whip around 4 o'clock and then work on whichever ATC I need to get finished from 4 to 5:30, depending on which side I'm at and how quickly I need to be cleaned up and out of here. The nice thing about an ATC is I can go ahead and clean and pack up and then just have that ATC in my tablet, whereas some of the other stuff I like to have more. I like to have everything nearby. I was like, it's ridiculous how much crap I bring to work every night, especially like tonight, because I need to put together a couple more of these trackers for the next couple months, and then I got more project records to get ready to start kitting up all my new projects. I'm not obviously not kitting up yet because I don't have the stuff. All I have is the pattern, but I get it written down. Like, I'll write down the name of the chart and the designer and the stitch count, and that'll give me an idea of what I need for fabric. And then on a separate list, I'll write down which fabric I think I want, or like a general, I want this on blue fabric type thing. And then, and if I need to order any flosses, and then as I get them in, I'll put them in their kit and finish out the project record, and then it's ready for whenever I decide to actually start it. Okay, so I have to check in another truck, and I will be back here in a little bit to show you my start on quotes to live by, because remember, I'm doing 3 nights tonight. So I just wanted to kind of show y'all what I'm looking at tonight. It's starting to smell like rain. Did y'all catch the lightning? Was I pointed that direction? I don't know yet whether or not I'm actually going to get any of this weather, or if it's just gonna blow around me. The rig that I am currently babysitting is, let me see if I can get it to where you can see it. I'm walking out in the lightning, people. Okay, way over there. I'm up here. Woo! I know you saw that one. In my little shack. And I check people in and they go way back there. So, that's my weather right now. Check back in with y'all in a little bit. So once again, I have realized that I'm recording the wrong direction, but I figure maybe I should just keep it consistent at this point. I don't know. Whoa! Did you see that? Lightning? I can hear the thunder. It's gonna be a fun night at work tonight. Okay, working on quotes to live by. Here's where I'm at, working on this piece. Let's see, I have 3 days to catch up on. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday's was 50, today's is 125, and tomorrow's is 100. So 275 I need to get done tonight. Shouldn't take me too long. Right now, I don't know how many people use iPads for their patterns. I use it for literally all of my patterns. If I have to scan it in and put it on there, I use it for everything. One of the things that I've discovered is you can split screen. So I have my pattern on one, like 3/4, and then Flosstube on another quarter. So I'm going to show you that, but I can't flip my camera mid whatever, so I'm gonna have to do one of these numbers. So I'm covering up my pattern over here, and I'm watching In Stitches with Melissa and Amber, their StitchCon recap, while I get started. And it has started raining, so get to work. I'll see y'all when I change projects. Bye. Evening. Okay, it is about 10:30. I'm having an evening, y'all. Excuse me. The storm finally let up. It really didn't rain too hard. They were big raindrops though. Made a lot of noise. Excuse me. I've got to quit taking a drink of soda right before I start to record. Anyway, I was doing a little snacking. My service has been horrible. Like, I'll have a bar or two, and then as soon as I go to send a text message or make a phone call or anything, I lose it. And it's been going on all night. My iPads tend to keep service better than my phone, and even they've been struggling tonight. I don't know if it's the storm or what. It's irritating me. Finally got my schedule for next week. I am off one day. She has scheduled me for 6 days next week. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted just thinking about it, and I haven't even done it yet. Because the other thing to think about is, okay, I came back to work on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. 7 days in a row. And then I'm going to get one day off and then do it all over again. Luckily, I do have the 4th of July off. So I'll get to spend that with my kiddos and doing fireworks and stuff like that. So that's good. All right. I got my last 3 days done on this, which I really need to post, but I have no service. Yeah, it's been one of those nights. So, I did not do any back stitching tonight, because, like before, I would do, okay, this day says 50, I would do my 50 stitches, and then 1 strand of back stitch, and then 125 stitches, and a row of back stitch. But tonight I didn't do that, because I'm trying to get it wrapped up for the end of the month. And there's other things I need to be doing. I've still got a little organizing to do. I've got to pull out another whip and work on it. I still have to pick one of my new, one of my new patterns, brain, and, you know, kit it in here so that I can make my shopping list. I need to come up with a word for that, because having to explain it every time is, I don't know about y'all, but for me, it seems like too much. So, let's see where I'm at. There we go. I got a lot done around the edges. Got a lot of this done. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull it off the Q-snap, because I'm taking a full-length picture of it for the cross-stitch group, because I kind of bounced all over this month, so I can't just show that one corner. They never believed that was 3,100 stitches. Never in a million years. Okay. So, and then show y'all where it's at. So I have 4 of the 9 squares done. This is so awesome. I just love the way it looks. All right. Into the bag till next month. That's another thing I need to sit down and schedule next month. I mean, it's the 29th, y'all. It's going to be the 30th in like an hour and a half. Yeah. So there is stuff I need to be doing. Anyway, I haven't figured out what project I'm working on next, so I'm going to do a little bit of organizing, and I will come back and show y'all before I get started. Good morning. It is about 12:30, almost 12:30. I'm developing a headache, so I might run a little slow. Just give me a second to catch up. I'm fixing to start stitching. I chose Owl Dad as my project for tonight. It was the next one on my list that I showed y'all earlier that hadn't been worked on yet this month. Here's where I'm at on it. Can you see? Yeah. So I think I'm going to come this way and work on the owl a little bit. Try and get to the top of the page. That way I could just work my way down. Because this A was in the middle of all 4 pages. So, yeah. Now to work on page 1. Oh, I do have the picture here. So I can show you what it looks like. So I got the A done. I've worked on the foot. I'm coming over this way. So I'll be working on him here in a minute. In case you're new, this one's really exciting to me because we have one of each. My daughter is 10 and my son is 8. And my husband loves owls. So this one was too perfect. I found it on a freebie table at the Austin Flosstube retreat. Okay, so I am working on that. But I mean, like, I haven't started it yet. My finger got caught in my hair. I worked on getting these trimmed down and holes punched in them. Same with the project records. I have a mess. I stopped and ate, hoping maybe that was the reason my head was starting to hurt. I really think it might be the war that I'm having with the AC though, because like it gets too cold in here and then it gets too hot and it's like I'm constantly turning the AC on and off. So there's that. Okay. I have not worked on planning to kit another project. I really gotta come up with something more useful for that. And I really need to work on getting my ATCs kitted up. So I figure I'll work on that after I pack everything up in the morning. I did work on getting July planned out. Where is it at? So I got all my papers. This month is a little less crazy, at least currently, that subject to change. So the way that I have it set up, I should be able to touch on every project. But if I don't work on something on my days off, it gets moved to the next month, but whatever. I've got a plan. And this one, I have Christmas rules here as my focus piece, but that hasn't been decided yet, so I'll just swap it out with whichever one gets chosen. I think I'm currently sitting at a vote for Christmas rules and a vote for welcome to. So that is on my Instagram. Y'all won't see this before that's all done and over with, because I won't post this until the 4th or 5th. So that's kind of what I worked on. Even that I didn't do very quickly because that's how it is tonight. So I'm gonna try and stitch a little bit unless my head starts hurting too much, in which case I'll, I don't know, clean up. I'm not sure what I'll do. I really feel like taking a nap, which obviously I can't because I'm at work. So I need my headache to go away. I usually keep like Tylenol or whatever in the truck, but it got taken out after our last trip and it's not back in there yet. So anyways, I'm gonna go back to watching iZombie and do a little cross stitching. So I will check back in with y'all here in a little bit. Good evening, everyone. Saturday, June 30th. I realized that this morning I forgot to come back and show you where I got on Owl Dad. So, because something happened. My relief called, said he was going to be late. so then I wasn't like in a rush to get cleaned up, and I was working on something. I was trying to figure out my ATCs because I need to get started on them. And so I was trying to find a small pattern that qualifies for the theme, and I was having much difficulty. So I didn't show you. So where is it? I think I have it around here somewhere. Or I will have to insert pictures. I was organizing everything for next month, or for this coming up month. Should really be right here. Like, where did you go? Oh, there you go. Okay. I was organizing everything for this month, and I had my calendar, and I had each of my little bags that had each of my projects. Like, I would have one here, and then one here. Well, this was everything for week 1, and this was everything for week 2, and I have these piles coming up off my windows. I have a picture I will insert. And so then I was taking the first week and I was going to put it in this bag, and the second week and put it in that bag, and then the rest of the weeks will go back to my house and go in a bucket until I'm ready. And I was like, I'm missing one or two, right? And I go to get up because I'm like, well, maybe they're in the truck, and I found a whole backpack full of projects over here. So needless to say, I was missing more than just one or two, and it was funny because they were just right there. Again, I'll insert pictures because I was talking to my friend and I was like, something's missing. She's like, what? Then I took a picture of the backpack, all these patterns. Or not patterns, projects. I did a lot of organizing tonight, with it being the last day of the month, and you know, wrapping up things. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to be stitching before midnight. I am. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, I still need to show you Aldad. And so I did some organizing of my projects. I put a bunch of my patterns into a binder, and then I picked a couple new patterns and kitted them up. So, or planned them to be kitted. I wrote down what I needed for them. Okay, let's see. I got the entire owl sun done last night. I know my lighting's horrible because it's 10 o'clock at night, and that light plant is just, it's always in the worst possible location for anything. So, got all these threads everywhere. Okay. There we go. Now you can see. I got all of him done. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. He is awesome. So, it was one of those things, once I got to stitching, I was like, I could set a little goal here and try my best to get him completely stitched before I put it up tonight, and that's what I did. I was also working on the crossword challenge for Ultimate Cross Stitch Group. I got 3 days. I got caught up on 3 days worth. So I need to be doing that somewhere tonight. Okay. So I'm participating in 2 ATCs and a smalls exchange this month, which I don't know. I think I'm crazy, but so of course, from this point forward, I'm not going to be able to show you the stitching because I don't, as of right now, I don't even know who I'm sending it to for the 2 ATCs. I do know who I'm sending to for my smalls exchange. So I can't show you the pattern. I cannot show you stitching after today, but for now, I can show you that I'm fixing to start one on this lovely fabric that I have no idea what it's called. I was a little irritated by that when I was filling out my project record. This is one I bought from ABC Stitch Therapy a while back, and I've stitched like a couple things on it so far, and I don't know if it had a tag when I got it or what, but I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's a 28 count. So we'll see. I'm about to get started on that. Oh well, I'll deal with that. So that is, sorry if that clapping is really loud. That's what I'm working on. I've been watching some Flosstube. I think I'm almost caught up on all the stuff I've downloaded today, because my service is so bad out here. I've been having to download. Pay for YouTube Red, download all the Flosstube, watch what I can each night, and when I run out of that, then I go pull in my laptop and watch iZombie, or what was I watching last night? I finished iZombie. I don't remember. I'm watching something else. So that's where I'm at. I will check back in with y'all here in a little bit. Good morning, lovely people. I got quite a bit done on my ATC. I can't show you, but it'll definitely be finished next time I pull it out. So, which will either be around 4 or maybe tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet, because tonight's kind of crazy, being the cusp of the end of June and the beginning of July. So, anyway, with that being said, it is time for my monthly stats. And I hope I got everything that I wanted to say, but who knows. So, where'd I put them? Okay. I completed 14,432 stitches last month. That averages out to be 481 stitches a day. Not my best month, but not my worst month. I started June with 33 whips. I did 2 new starts. I did 1 finish, and I UFO'd a project. So I ended the month with 33 whips. I worked on 20 of them throughout the month. So because of Mania and because of adding on so many new ones, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to touch all of them within a month, but we try our best. And there were several days that I didn't stitch last month because of my family reunion and StitchCon and just life. So the way that I have it planned out is I should touch every whip this month, because one is my focus piece, which, by the way, y'all voted for, and it will be Christmas Rules this month. So Christmas Rules is touched on every day, so it doesn't get its own day. I'm doing the 100 Days of Hate Challenge, which I've said about 1,000 times now. I apologize. Not really. It'll be worked on every day, so it does not get its own day. This brings me down to 31 whips, and July is 31 days. So I should be able to accomplish all of it. And I will be adding a couple more ATCs, of course, but they'll be worked on along with my whips until they're completed, so I don't give them their own day. That's silly. And there's 3 of them, but I did start on 1 last night, so yeah. All right. My subscribers to YouTube is up to 661. That is a growth of 56 this month. In fact, that's a growth of 56 in the last week and a half. Yeah, it was kind of insane, but I'm guessing a lot of that has to do with StitchCon. All the people you meet that weren't previously subscribed to your channel, not to mention, you know, because I made a post StitchCon video that's getting pretty well blasted across some of the other Flosstubers that have way more people than me. So that's probably what that is. I also have 523 Instagram followers now. That's an increase of 78. And that puts me over the 500 mark, which means I will be doing a giveaway over on my Instagram. I'm not prepared to do that tonight because I didn't realize how fast that had grown. But if you follow me, probably by the time this video gets up, I'll be prepared to do that. So make sure and check my Instagram if you want to enter for that. Again, I don't even know what that is yet. I'll try and do a little bit better than I did on my YouTube giveaway. Melissa seemed pretty pleased, but it was very disorganized, and I don't want to do that again. So that is my monthly wrap-up. I think that's all the stats I normally give or keep track of. I don't know. Anyway, so it is July 1st. And the first 7 days of the month are for my series. So, which I don't use all 7 days, but it's the serial killer Sal at the crossage finish line, I think. I say I think every time, and I say the same group every time, so I'm probably correct. Anyway, so I start on my series at the beginning of the month. I started with Under the Sea, because my internet has been so bad. I don't even think I've received my new one for Guardians yet, or Legendary Creatures. So I'm gonna have to do that when I get home today. So here's where we're at. I'm not positive. Oh, no. Okay, so I have to finish this fish, and then I think it will be nothing but backstitching. All night backstitching, because I got to go all the way up under here for all the backstitching I didn't do when I was working on this as my focus piece a couple months ago. Because like I said last month with Quotes to Live By, backstitching would make my numbers get where they needed to be too fast, and then I wouldn't be getting near enough work done on it. So I didn't come up with the whole, you know, do my numbers and then backstitch until Quotes to Live By. So I have to go back and do all the backstitch. But, you know, it could be worse. So I could have a finish on this tonight. I'm not going to hold my breath because I have a feeling I'm going to get way too distracted. Because the day 0 signups for Heaven and Earth Design Challenge is like any minute, like the next 30 minutes. So I want to get that done. And I get constantly distracted. By the way, the other show I was watching when I was like, I can't remember, was The Librarians. I don't know if you've seen it. It's pretty awesome. So, The Librarians. I believe, yeah, it comes on TNT. So, I don't know if you have that. Okay. So, this is what I'm going to be working on tonight. Or this morning. And I would do my best to check back in with y'all before I pack up for the day. Tonight when I get here, so the Heaven and Earth Design Challenge doesn't technically start till tomorrow. I may work on it one strand tonight just to start to get myself in the groove of things. If not, when I get here, of course, I'll be doing my focus piece, which is Christmas rules. Thanks to all that voted, I had 15 votes. 8 of them were for Christmas rules. So, and remember that means that Christmas rules will not be one to be voted on next month. So the only 2 will be Welcome to or Autumn Wreath. And so if you didn't get your pick this month, maybe you have a better chance next month. And then September, I'll have whatever's left. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for October and November and December. Guess we'll see. I guess I'll go back to my whole year of whips and then pick again. Okay, so work on focus piece, maybe put a strand into my Heaven and Earth Design, then then I'll start pulling out for the whip tomorrow, which should be Guardians of Notre Dame, but that's if I get it downloaded. I don't even think Brittany's emailed me yet. But my email's been down all night because I have really bad service. So I hope y'all are stitching away, because this vlog is insanely long already and we still have a few more days. So I will talk to y'all soon. Because as soon as I closed out my video, my email's loaded and my July Guardian was sitting there waiting for me. She sent it about 2 hours ago. So just wanted to say that. Bye. I didn't forget. So I got a lot done. I'm so close to finished on this. So I think what's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and keep it on the Q-snap. And when I get done with my focus piece and my strand on the Haid, if it is before midnight, I'm going to work on this to try and finish it, because I am seriously this close. So let me show you. Can you see? I know. I am white. There we go. Hold on for a second. There we go. Okay. So all this bag stitching is done. I'm working on this right now. And then I have to do him. Don't you like how I'm having a peek under so I can see? And I have to work on him. There's a couple fish over here. So I'm going to have to move the Q-snap. And then that's it. It's done. So this treasure chest, him. There's a few coins right here. And a couple fish over here. And then it's officially done. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Q-snap since, in that space. And then I'm going to work on it some more tonight. I think I can officially finish it. Now, I'll have you notice the initials. This one is for my daughter. She claimed it, I think, about the time I did the shark. Because she has been obsessed with sharks for a long time. Mermaids, any pretty much sea life. Obsessed. So, when I started working on this, she said that is definitely mine. And when I asked her about that down there, she said she wanted her initials in it. So I sent her a picture of that last night of her initials in it. She said, "Oh, is it done?" I said, "No, not quite." But I knew that I was going to have to do this moving of the Q-snap, so I wanted to go ahead and get it as complete as possible over there. So now with the Q-snap moved, I will show you. Okay. Let me try moving y'all here so maybe the lighting is a little better. Okay, so these two fish, this guy, treasure and stuff in the sand. And he will be done! And I'll have my first finish for July. On day 1 of July. That is awesome. So, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that on there. We're going to work on it again this evening. There was something else I was going to tell y'all. And I can't remember what it was. It was something that after I closed out the last time I popped on here, something happened and I was like, oh, I should pop back on and say that. And I was like, but I just did that. And now I can't remember what it is. That's one of the reasons I feel like I need to do these vlogs, because if I say it when I'm thinking about it, then I don't forget. And then I get to actually tell you stuff. So I finished The Librarians. Season was good. I'm now working on Elementary again. I'm season 4, episode 17. So it's one that I can watch a few episodes and then I get a little bored. So then I switch to something more action filled. Back and forth, back and forth. I guess that's it. Whatever else was in my brain is gone. So, it is Sunday the 1st. I've said that about 3 times. I'll be back this evening. We still got like 3 more days of this vlog at least. 3 to 4. So, See you tonight. Hey there. Okay. Oh man, I'm a mess. Don't look at me. Keep stitching. Okay, so I just put together the videos from the last like 3, maybe 4 days. It hasn't even been that long. And my video is already over an hour. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. Go ahead and post it. And you're gonna get 2 videos from me this week. Otherwise, you might be here for like 3 hours. An hour and 15 minutes already. And wow. Yeah. So, sorry if you don't like long videos. And let's see, it's Sunday. I wasn't supposed to post till Wednesday. So I guess I'll see y'all again Wednesday. Bye.